How's it, everybody? Welcome back to the Rocky Fern. My name is Luca and I have OI Type 4. And in today's episode of Show Me the Green, we're checking out our September favorites. And the bonus is I get my two sons involved. So they've been wanting to get into some videos. So they have some personal picks that of their own that they like to showcase for their favorites in September. So let's get into it. Okay, so here we are with Erwin. He's my oldest, and he's gonna show us his favorite plant of September. And it is a...
Tillandsia.
It's a Tillandsia. Now, why do you like this Tillandsia?
Because of the giant bract.
Now, what is the bract?
I don't know.
That giant pink thing.
Oh.
And the bract, the flowers come out of the bract. Look at that freaking pretty.
I thought you were telling me to go into detail.
Isn't that pretty? So Tillandsias are well known for having their freaking inflorescent neon fluorescence, and this is no exception. Anything else you want to say about this? Like, what did we plant it in?
Wood coconut.
We did just a coconut, not a wood one.
Oh.
What's inside the coconut?
Wood.
Yeah, that's right, more wood in the shape of moss. So we have a long sphagnum moss inside here, and we water it once a week. He just dipped it in some more water in here. And what drew you to this plant? Why is it your favorite for September?
Because I like the bract and how thick it is.
Yeah, it is beautiful. Let me get another close-up of that. This color is unreal. And the flower, which actually has a nice fragrance to it, is purple. So the purple set against the neon pink of this bract is amazing. So I definitely think it was a great choice. We have a new growth point coming here. So yeah, Tillandsia is also known as quiz.
I don't know.
Air plants.
Oh.
So this is a type of air plant, which means that its roots are used for anchoring, and the leaves, for the most part, are used for absorbing the water or capturing water, which you can see there's water right in the top of the crown here, like a lot of bromeliads, which are related to Tillandsia. So yeah, that's a great choice for September. I don't know the species of this Tillandsia or the genus, but it is a very good plant. It's a Walmart plant, but you can even see down here the red striping on the leaves. I think Erwin did a great job picking this plant. It definitely would have made my top September list, especially with the bract. So yeah, anything else you want to say?
No.
All right, we'll move on to the next one. Boop. Hi guys, here we are with Graham. He's my youngest son, and he has two choices for September for his favorite plants. What's your first one?
My first one is called the ruby necklace. The scientific name of the ruby necklace is known as the Athona capensis.
Yeah. And why do you like this plant?
I like it because of its crimson red color, and I really like those crisp green tips of every pearl.
Yeah, this is such a cool plant. So why does it develop this crimson color?
It develops a crimson color due to sun stress.
That's right. So how much sun are we giving this bad boy?
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit. Yeah, so this guy actually gets more sun and can handle more sun than some of the cactus that's being kept next to it. So they're under a shade cloth, like my Copiapoa and...
the Gymnocalycium.
The Gymnocalycium, that's right. So they actually require a little bit of sun shade because they actually can't handle as much as this Athona capensis can. The ruby necklace comes from where?
South Africa.
That's right, and there's a lot of cool endemics to South Africa when it comes to succulents. It's a very cool place. Also, Drosera regina comes from there, the king sundew, which we have out there, which is just a beautiful plant. Yeah, so these guys are related to cactus. That's why they have the very similar beta-carotene pigments. Same thing as beets, which is kind of interesting. You have to say it that way too. You gotta go beets real high, right?
Beets.
Yeah, beets. Anyway, so very cool plant. These guys develop really cool daisy-like flowers, really small yellow flowers, really beautiful offset against or contrast against the crimson color, and it just grows this nice long trailing look to it.
It's like hair.
It is like hair. It'd be kind of cool to get one of those pots that are in the shape of like a wahine or a lady, and have it growing out the sides. That'd be really cool. But one more close-up of this beautiful plant. That's Graham's. One of Graham's favorite picks of September. It was also Erwin's favorite pick when we did a plant tour a few months ago. So it's a very popular plant here in the Ohana house, and I like it. He likes it. We all like it. You like it. And yeah, it's related to beets. So yeah,
Beets.
it should be good. All right, we'll go on to the next one. All right, guys, here we are with Graham's second favorite plant of September, and it happens to be...
The jewel orchid.
That's right, the jewel orchid. So, what are we looking at when we look at this jewel orchid?
What we're looking at when we look at this jewel orchid would be the leaves.
Now, why are the leaves such a pretty contrast? What would you say that color of those lines are?
I would say somewhere between a salmon orange and a white.
That's a very good choice coloration. Now, what sets these guys apart from other orchids?
What sets this apart from another typical orchid is this plant is known for its leaves. Other orchids are known for their flower show. This guy, not so much. He makes up for it though with amazing leaves.
That's right, he does. And he's got a really cool growth pattern. Now, I noticed there's a little bit of sun damage on here. What happened?
He was exposed to a little too much sun, so we had to move him inside so he wasn't being sun damaged.
That's right, these particular spots on here from water droplets that...
magnified the heat.
That's right, they magnified the sun and it acted like a little magnifying glass. But honestly, this is a Ludicea genus. It's kicking butt in this pond mix. It's a very super hardy jewel orchid. A lot of people start their jewel orchid collections with this Ludicea. I think it's discolor, I could be wrong, but it's a very, very pretty, robust species. Dark evergreen leaves, like Graham said, that what would you call that? Salmon orange lines that does a nice offset. And then like the flowers, like he was saying, they're not as spectacular or regal as a Cattleya or a Phalaenopsis, but they're still really pretty. I mean, it is still an orchid. They're small, they're white, but they're really, really pretty. So yeah, I think it's a great choice for your second pick for September favorites. Anything else you want to say about this? All right. Well, I think he said it all. That was a great plant, and I think you did a great job. All right, let's move on to the next one.
See you next time.
All right, guys, so we're moving on to my first pick for my favorite plant in September, and it has to be a Pinguicula, also known as the grease plant or the little greasy ones. It's Pinguicula cycloselecta, and I know it's Wild Fern's favorite, or if not one of her favorite Pinguiculas, but I'm telling you, with that blossom, there's two new ones forming. The purple outer edge and how they furl up and kind of give a nice contrast. This is one of the coolest, prettiest, most ornate Pinguiculas out there. It's kept like my other Pinguiculas with coconut coir, pumice, some sand, and it's kept in about a ½ inch of water at all times. Pinguiculas are very sensitive to overwatering, especially if they go into their winter dormancy where they kind of act as a succulent. But year round you can keep them in that setup, and it's doing much better than other ways I've kept it. I have had great success with lava rock also being kept in like ½ inch of water at all times, and they look very, very cool against that, especially if some moss starts growing, as you can see there. But that plant with its blossom, it is such a cool plant, and you can tell it's Pinguicula blossom because of that little piece right there. I don't remember what that's for, but every Pinguicula flower has that little drop spike. So like I said, it's three more blossoms forming, and this guy gets about once a week a diluted fish food fertilizer that I sprinkle on the leaves. And then being here in Kauai, I have a lot of ants, so I catch ants as often as I can, and I'll just hurry and rub them between my fingers and drop them on the leaves. You can tell your plant is pretty happy if it develops this greasy, mucusy texture to the leaves, which this one kind of does. You can kind of see the threads there. To me, that's a sign of a very happy Pinguicula. Ping is the other name for a nickname, but these guys, I mean, for a Pinguicula, that is one of the coolest contrasts. Very purple edge. It's a beautiful plant. So that's my #1 pick for my favorite plants in September. So let's move on to the next one. All right, guys, so this is my next favorite plant of September. This is the red mistletoe cactus, also known as the Pseudorhipsalis ramulosa. It is a monospecific plant in the genus Chemnacea. So the pseudonym Pseudorhipsalis is now, or should be used with the genus Chemnacea. But anyway, this is a very special plant to me. This is the plant that my son and I picked some seeds off of another mature plant at a nursery, and there was about 15 to 20 seeds in there, and they kind of sprout at different times. It's kind of cool because due to genetic diversity in the seed, or in the seeds, they are sprouting at different times. So this is over about 6 months, and you still get little tiny seedlings that are popping out. So that's kind of very interesting, very cool to see. although they all look pretty similar. They're called the red mistletoe cactus because under a lot of sun stressing, this whole thing will turn red, and then the berries are white like a mistletoe, so that's really cool. This plant actually started, the majority of this plant started out as like a 1-inch cutting, or a 1-inch little propagation that I started. Let's get that guy out of the way. Right, like this size right here that I took. Planted it, and it just started growing, and then we just so happened to find a ripe berry. So we took that, and it's a great plant. It's a beautiful trailing plant, super hardy. It does wrinkle in the leaves when it's thirsty. It's in a small, very airy mix, so it does dry out. I say maybe once a week I water this. Nice deep watering. You can tell by the color of the pot that it has recently received a deep watering, but I love the contrast. It's a really pretty red, nice trailing, flat lobe-like leaves. So that's it. That's the Pseudorhipsalis of the Gymnatia ramulosa, the red mistletoe cactus. Beautiful, beautiful cactus. Something different and super hardy, so I definitely highly recommend this plant. Okay, so moving on to my next favorite plant of September. This is probably my all-time favorite, or tied for all-time favorite, Hoya, which is so hard to say, but ever since I first saw a picture of this Hoya, it's been a dream plant. I can't believe I own it. It's going really, really well for me. It's growing really, really well for me, and here it is with no further ado. It is my Hoya undulata Borneo, and you can just see it's got pink speckling to it, beautiful undulations to the leaf, which is where undulata comes from. It's got kind of a tomentose fuzzy like feel, but you can't actually see any of the fuzz on the leaves. These guys have beautiful, beautiful flowers. They look like dinosaurs to me. I like these really weird leafed Hoyas. Yeah, it's growing under the LEDs inside the garage, and it's out of this pond mixture where I fill it up, let the water flow out, and there's always like a little bit of water in there. It is a heavy drinker, but Rick's Hoyas says they're heavy drinkers. He keeps them very similar, and he's had great success with them. I've had nothing but success with this. It came as a 2-leaf cutting that was partially rooted, and it's just blown up. It did take a few months for it to start to push out growth, but now that it has it looks like 5 new leaves with the growth point going strong. I can't wait to trellis this and get into a bigger pot, but for now, that is just gorgeous. So Hoya undulata, I love this guy. I should have another one coming if that Aroid Asia order does come to fruition. I'm hoping, supposedly shipped over 10 days ago, but I haven't had any updates, so hopefully there is a good update here in a little bit. But anyway, Hoya undulata, my favorite plant for September as far as Hoyas go. There is one more Hoya on the list, and I'll show that one next. Okay, so this other Hoya is also one of my favorite plants of September, and it also is tied for my favorite all-time Hoya. It's another weird one. It's the Hoya caudata. This is the Sumatra, and it is kept outside on the Hoya wall. It has beautiful undulation, dinosaur-like leaves to this leaf structure as well. And what's cool is that when it sun stresses this really cool purple color. And what's cool is, let me find a leaf that's covering another leaf. I think it's right here. So this leaf is getting sun, and then the leaf underneath is not. And you can see that green color is pretty nice green with that white splashing. And then unlike the undulata, it does not give you pink splashing. It gives you just kind of white silver splashing on the leaves. But these guys are fuzzy. You can tell they're fuzzy, little tomentose feeling to them. Look at that abaxal side of the leaf. That is so cool. It has quite a few peduncles on them, which I think it might abort, I don't know. But even the stems are tomentose. They're fuzzy, pubescent. Beautiful plant. It's one of my favorites. Really stiff leaves, but they're kind of thin for as stiff as they are. And I can't tell you how much I adore this plant. This plant also came to me as a smaller cutting. It might have only been a 2-leaf cutting, and it's just gone off. So it's super, super cool. It's definitely one of my favorite Hoyas, and I can't wait for this to be a big old mother plant. But that's the Hoya caudata Sumatra. So if you like what you see, get one. All right, let's move on to the next one, and it will be my last plant for my September favorites. Okay, so this next plant is my last plant for favorite plants of September, and of course it has to be begonia. You have to have a begonia on your list, and it's such a cool begonia. It's the only begonia that I have that has yellow flowers, so hopefully that's a clue, and you guys kind of know what's coming up. But it is my begonia stoutii, or stoutii, also known as microsperma. I love it because the bullation in the leaves, such a textured leaf. And then set across the contrast of these yellow flowers. I hope they're not getting too blown out with the lighting. Maybe if I held it back here. But it's such a cool begonia. I love these yellow flowers. I did do some tuning fork pollination, and I'm hoping it took. This is a rhizomatic begonia, and I tried to cross it with some cane begonias, mainly the Brevermosas and the Amphioxus, and that's also another cane begonia. We'll see if that took. I do think the Amphioxus and the Brevermosa did take as a hybrid. We'll see, but it was such a cool experience. You take that tuning fork, get it nice vibration going, and then you hit the pollen, the male flowers, and they just shoot out this cloud of pollen. It was really cool. So yeah, definitely one of my favorites. It is a little beat up because I have chickens that can go in the back of the garage greenhouse, and they like to dig in here. But for the most part, this is doing really well. The crown is looking really good. I don't know if you guys can see that. So yeah, the yellow flowers, which there isn't a smell to it, but it's so pretty. Every time I go in the greenhouse, it's kept on the floor, but I notice it immediately. So definitely one of my favorites, and you guys gotta let me know which of our plants was your favorite for September. Maybe show us your list of September favorites, and I can't wait to do the October favorites. Usually I tend to stick to plants that are blooming, or just something that I just can't keep my eyes off of. But if you like what you see, as always, make sure to give a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment. I can't wait to have more conversations with you guys, but let us know what your favorite is, and until next time, we'll see you on the next adventure.
The jewel plant, the jewel orchid.
the jewel. Let's try it again. Flat, lobe-like leaves. Oh, what's that? That's the practice siren that happens on the first Monday of every month. Does it scare me? Every time. So we just wait it out, I guess. Just wait. Okay, let's get back to the show a little bit.